Have you seen that Arnab Goswami, an eminent media person of our country, has been tortured by Mumbai police, but still he roars that I will not compromise. If there is even a bloodbath, I will swim in the blood and come out of it. This is called Lionheart and the shaming act of Mumbai police. A sequel of Atomic Mass is Molecular Mass, and this sequel will be the application of the atomic mass. Means you have got the fundamental idea of the atomic mass, that this is a unique quantity which every individual atom possesses, and molecular mass is what, that where we apply the atomic mass. Application of atomic mass means what is the significance of atomic mass, what is its importance. It is mainly in calculation of the relative molecular mass of any substance. You know that molecules are the stable state of a matter, because the many of the elements do not exist in their free state, and they keep combining with either identical or some other elements, and they convert into molecule. These molecules are stable because they have been formed by the exchange of fundamental particle, which is called electron, and this exchange is done in two ways, either by the gaining, losing, or by sharing. So I will tell you that what is the actually importance of gaining, transferring, and sharing in context of molecular mass, that I will tell you. So to begin the lecture, I will tell you first that what is molecular mass, which is most important to know, that what is molecular mass. Molecular mass is nothing but the mass of a substance. Atomic mass is the mass of an atom, but the molecular mass is the mass of a whole compound that exists in the either you can say ionic state, or you can say that in the bonded molecular state. So how do we calculate it? It is also a relative mass, and that relative mass, as you know, that the relative mass of any atom is calculated in the comparison of the carbon 12 isotope, carbon 12, which is considered as a standard to calculate the atomic mass of all the other atoms, because of its equal number of nucleons. Equal number of nucleons means proton and neutron, which gives us the atomic mass as a whole number, and its very moderate reactivity. These all things have been explained to you in my previous lectures, so I am not repeating it much, because I am thinking that we will proceed from there. We will go advance in this knowledge. So question arises that how to calculate the molecular mass. The basic quantity that we will require here is nothing but the atomic mass, which is atomic mass is nothing but the relative mass, which is a compared mass to the carbon 12 isotope, because you know that what are the criterion which has been fixed by the IUPAC. To decide that carbon 12 will be taken as the standard for calculating the relative atomic mass of the other elements, because it's not just possible that we calculate the absolute mass of every element. Rather, we calculate, because the absolute mass is calculated by the mass spectroscopy, which is again a very, very complex type of process. So relative atomic mass is more you can say applicable and more convenient. हियर ऑल्सो आप देखेंगे कि मॉलिकुलर मास कैलकुलेट करने में सबसे ज़्यादा यूज तो एटमिक मास की होती है, इसलिए एटमिक मास को लर्न करना मैं नहीं कहूँगी बहुत ज़्यादा जरूरी है कि आप एक एटमिक मास को लर्न कीजिए, बट यस if you have idea of the atomic masses of the some simple elements which are abundant in our surrounding, then it will be better for you. Otherwise other atomic masses of the bulkier elements etc will be always provided. There is no doubt that it won't be provided. हमेशा दी जाती है जब भी कोई ऐसे एलिमेंट की, जैसे जो कि थोड़ी जिसके के एटम्स हैवियर होते हैं, तो उसकी एटमिक मास प्रोवाइड की जाती है, और वो आपको अगर बहुत सारे एटमिक मासेस फ्रैक्शन में भी मिलेंगे आपको, तो उसकी भी मैं रीज़न आपको बताने जा रही हूँ कि क्यों किसी एटमिक मास को हम लोग होल नंबर में पाते हैं और कभी ऐसा क्यों होता है कि एटमिक मास एक फ्रैक्शनल क्वांटिटी बन जाती है. That also I'll tell you. But basically the atomic mass of elements are nothing but the mass of its molecular mass of element is nothing but the mass of the each element each element which is responsible to form that molecule or substance. That molecule or substance which is you can say we are using. If you want to know that what is the weight or mass of one molecule or one single entity of that molecule, then we calculate its molecular mass, and that molecular mass is calculated how, that I am going to tell you. So the calculation of atomic mass, I have told that how the absolute mass of carbon is taken and then it is divided by 12, and that number was coming as 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. Children, if you remember, then I again remind you, and that was called as atomic mass unit, and it is referred as U, which is also called unified mass. So that unified mass is applied here also, because when we are calculating the molecular mass, it will be also expressed. Earlier it used to be expressed in Dalton, but now it is also expressed in just U. We put a sign of U because U gives us the value of the one, either proton or neutron. So if you have been told that no, you calculate it in the gram, then you will just put the value of the U and you will multiply and it will come. Like if I am telling you that no, I want the molecular mass of water in gram, then you will calculate first its molecular mass and then you will multiply it by the value of U, and then what number is coming or what quantity is coming will be its molecular mass in gram. So boys, this is your way of calculation. The molecular masses are calculated by the value of atomic masses taken together with some signs of plus and multiplication. We add, we multiply. Basically we add and multiply. Only these two common mathematical applications are useful here. या हम लोग या तो जोड़ते हैं या और उसको या फिर मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं, बस यही दो चीज़ें होती हैं और ज़्यादा कुछ खास नहीं करना होता इसमें. तो वो मैं आपको बता रही हूँ. So each nucleid, I am saying, each nucleid, what nucleid is nothing but the species. Nucleid we call in the chemistry species because every element has a specific number of proton and neutron in its nuclei, and that is how it is a nucleid, means it is a special kind of atom. It is a species. Species here means a type of atom. So nucleid is what we are going to represent it as with the number of nucleons. So why we are calling it nucleid? Let it clear it more, because it can happen that in the same atom there will be more than one atomic masses. I remind you towards the drawbacks of Dalton theory. उस समय मैंने आपको कहा था कि आइसोटोप्स होते हैं. तो आइसोटोप्स क्या होता है कि आइसोटोप एक ही एटम के एक ही एलिमेंट के दो अलग अलग एटम्स होते हैं जिनकी की मासेज अलग होती है. तो एक एलिमेंट जिसकी मास, सपोज कि मैं आपको कह रही हूँ ऑक्सीजन, तो ऑक्सीजन की एटमिक मास है 16, वो एक न्यूक्लिड है. एक ऑक्सीजन जो आइसोटोपिक ऑक्सीजन है उसकी मास है 18, तो वो एक न्यूक्लिड है. सो दीज आर द टू स्पीसीज ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. दैट इज व्हाई आई एम ट्राइंग टू एम्फसाइज, I put more stress on the word nucleid so that it goes in your concept that what do I mean by nucleid. This is actually a type of an atom which has a particular nucleus which has the nucleons, and that nucleons can differ in the same atom. And what will differ in the nucleon? Only neutron, because the proton is the fundamental particle which always remains identical in one atom, and that gives the representation of its atomic number. What changes is the number of neutron. So this is nucleid. And that is also called isotopic distribution of the element. Isotopic distribution of the element means the same element having the different isotopes, but that isotope is only counted for the atomic mass whose occurrence in our surrounding, जिसकी की मौजूदगी हमारे अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर में 10% से ज़्यादा है. जैसे कि मैं आपको एक कार्बन की एग्जांपल बता रही हूँ. कार्बन जो है वो सबसे ज़्यादा हमारे सराउंडिंग में कार्बन 12 के फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट करता है, जो कि 98% है. बट देयर are carbon 13 and carbon 14 also, but that carbon 13 and carbon 14 is only together, अगर उसको मिलाकर चलें तो 2% है, तो उसको इग्नोर करते हैं. For the final calculation of the atomic mass of carbon, only carbon 12 is taken, which is abundant in our surrounding. But if the substance, if that element has some one isotope in such a way that its occurrence in our surrounding is more than 10%, then you will have to take the or IUPAC has taken that isotopic form also in the final calculation of the atomic mass. That is not ignored. That is why you will see that the many elements are have their atomic masses in fraction, because these are the isotopic masses also which are included in the atomic mass of the final calculation of the atomic mass. Like I am giving you an example of water which has a formula H2O. So if we see that the actually you know that the 18 will be the unified mass. In unified mass it will come as 18, and 18 will be the molecular mass of water. But actual calculation, if I tell you, then you will get surprised that this varies from 18 point this so bigger number to 22 point this. Why? Because hydrogen in this first quantity is present in first isotopic form in the hydrogen 1 state, and the oxygen is also ideally in the 16 isotopic state. But in the second, hydrogen in the form of deuterium is present, and the oxygen also is in the isotopic form of 18 oxygen is present here. So here this is the range. This is the range which starts from 18 and which covers up till 22. So this is the range of the, but when we are taking it as a normal molecular mass of water, then we will just tell it that it is 18. बस 18 कहना ही काफी होगा. So then what is molecular? First try to understand what is the concept of molecular. If I am saying that the molecular mass, then it will be that type of compound which exists in molecules, and that molecule is what? And molecules are always formed by those elements which stay in their discrete molecular form. Discrete molecular form means they remain covalently bonded, and such type of molecules do not possess any ions, which are the charged particle, which is also a free state of the you can say atom. Free state of the atom is your actually ion. Free atomic state is your ion. So here you will not find it. So only the non-metals, when they are bonded together, they form the molecular compound. So non-metallic compounds are covalently bonded. And what is covalently bonded? It means that sharing, the transfer or gain is not done. Means donation and acceptance is not done, but instead of that, sharing of electron is done, and that sharing of electron results in the formation of what? A molecular compound. Here I have given some examples of the molecular compounds, and these you will not find anywhere any metal. You will only find that all these compounds are made up of only non-metals, and that is why they will share electrons because their electronegativity gap is very small. When the transfer and gain of the electron will be done, it is done between an electropositive element, which is metal, and the electronegative element, which is a non-metal. But here you will see that all are non-metals, and some of the non-metals are little more electropositive, so they are given the first place according to the knowledge I given you in the chemical formula, that more electropositive will remain in the left side, and the less electropositive will be, means the electronegative will remain in the right side. So water, hydrogen is little more electropositive, and oxygen is highly electronegative. So here it is also a molecular compound, and how we calculated the atomic the molecular mass, that we put the atomic mass of hydrogen. The value of atomic mass of hydrogen is what? Just one unified mass in rounded up, or it is 1.0086 like if we take it in the fraction, but we are not taking it in fraction. Normal hydrogen. So 1 into 2 atoms of hydrogen 2. Keep it in the bracket. for the simplification process, and then add a sign of plus. When we will put the sign of plus? When we jump from one element to another element, like hydrogen, and after hydrogen it is oxygen. So between the hydrogen and oxygen we put a sign of plus, and then I kept the value of atomic mass of oxygen, and that's how we are getting this 18 unified. Similarly, I have tried to show you the atomic molecular masses of carbon dioxide, and in the same way I have calculated that I put the value of the कार्बन एटमिक मास ऑफ कार्बन जो होती है वो 12 है, और ऑक्सीजन की एटमिक मास क्या है वो 16 है, और इस तरह से मैंने कैलकुलेट करके आपको दिखाया है। हर बार आपको मैंने कैलकुलेट करके दिखाया। अब यहाँ पे तो ठीक है, ये सब तो आप समझ रहे हैं कि नॉर्मल टाइप के बहुत अबंडेंट एलिमेंट है, कार्बन, नाइट्रोजन और फॉस्फोरस में हमने एक कंपाउंड लिया है फॉस्फोरस पेंटाऑक्साइड P2O5, और इसकी फॉस्फोरस की एटमिक मास होती है 31, तो 2 एटम्स ऑफ फॉस्फोरस है, तो दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 2 and 16 multiply 5 because there are 5 atoms of oxygen, and that's how I have reached to the answer, which is your 142U. And here I am taking PCl5, which is the phosphorus pentachloride, and here you will see again I am giving you a concept of the isotopic mass. See, this is your chlorine atomic mass, which is 35.5, not just 35, because there are 2 isotopes of the chlorine which are abundant in our surrounding. One is your chlorine 35 and another is your chlorine 37. So its average atomic mass will be taken, because the 35 is 75% and 37 is also 25%. So you just can't ignore 25%, which is more than enough. That is why that atomic mass percentage is calculated, and which is coming finally as 35.5, and that's how we have calculated it like this, because there are 5 atoms of chlorine, and I have done the multiplication and addition finally to reach the. Here I have taken one organic compound, that these are the inorganic compound, because nowhere you will see that the carbon and hydrogen are there, but here hydrocarbon, because both carbon and hydrogen are bonded together. So this is your methanol, CH3OH, a type of alcohol, and that is how we have calculated 12 plus hydrogen 3, so 1 into 3, where we have kept it in the bracket plus. It is very important to keep it in the bracket, otherwise the bond mass mistake will be done here. You all know that the bond mass is very important when we are doing any mathematical calculation or operation. And then again OH is your hydroxide ion, and that's how we have put the value of 16 plus 1, and we have calculated it finally as 32U. Here I have taken one example of vinegar, is the common name, but it is your ethanoic acid, and that is how I have calculated here. Just see, you will understand. COOH, which is the carboxylic acid group, and due to which it has acidic character but weak acid, and that's how I have calculated. Here I have calculated the sulfuric acid atomic molecular mass, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of sulfur, which has the atomic mass 32, and 16 is the atomic mass of oxygen, and there are 4 atoms, and finally it is coming as 98 unified mass, and the same will be coming in the atomic mass of phosphoric acid, which is your hydrogen phosphate H3PO4, because the 31 is the atomic mass of phosphorus, and that is how we put the value of the relative elements, and we are getting the final atomic mass. So this was my discussion over the molecular mass and the calculation of molecular mass. Children, now I am coming to a related topic, but it will be little much dissimilar from the molecular mass, how I am telling you, and that is your calculation of formula unit mass. The question arises that what is the difference between the molecular mass and formula unit mass. Formula unit mass is applied on those type of substances which exist in their ionic state. You must have seen that the salts have their ions in it, and these salts are the ionic compound, and they have one metal and one non-metal in there. You can see their formula is made up of one metal, and unlike I am giving you the example of common salt, जो कि साधारण हम लोग नमक खाते हैं, उसमें क्या होती है सोडियम एंड क्लोरीन. सोडियम एक स्ट्रांगली मेटालिक सब्सटेंस और क्लोरीन स्ट्रांगली नॉन मेटालिक. तो यहाँ पर ट्रांसफर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन होती है एंड गेन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन. सोडियम जो है इलेक्ट्रोपॉजिटिव है, दैट विल डोनेट इलेक्ट्रॉन टू द कैल्शियम विच क्लोरीन विच इज योर इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव, and that is how the transfer of electron is done, and in this case electrovalent bond will form. Electrovalent bond will form, and because of the big electronegativity gap between the metal and non-metal. So whenever a compound is made up of one metal and non-metal, then it is called ionic compound or electrovalent compound, because the bond is your ionic bond or electrovalent bond, and this bond is formed only by the loss and gain of electron, children, and that loss and gain of electron is done in such a way that the metal becomes the charged particle and non-metal also become the charged particle. Metal become cation and non-metal become anion. I given you good concept on the polyatomic ions also, and the cation and anion also, radicals also. This knowledge you have gained, and that knowledge will be applied here. तो कैलकुलेशन प्रोसेस तो वही होगी, कैलकुलेशन प्रोसेस में कोई भी चेंज नहीं आएगी. जैसे आपने मॉलिक्यूलर मास कैलकुलेट किया है, वैसे ही आपको फॉर्मूला यूनिट मास भी कैलकुलेट करना है. जो प्रोसीजर है वो आप सीख चुके हैं, आपने जान लिया, और उसी नॉलेज को फिर से रिपीटेटिव होगी वो. लेकिन फिर भी मैंने कुछ एग्जांपल्स अच्छे लिए ही हैं, क्योंकि वो एग्जांपल्स आपको और कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर करने में हेल्पफुल होंगे. I have taken some good 10 examples, children. First is your calcium chloride. You can see that one strong metallic substance, calcium, and coming here next to it is your chlorine, which is your electronegative element and non-metal. And calcium is the atomic mass 40, and then your 35.5. I just told you that it is the atomic mass of chlorine, and then you multiply it by 2, keeping it in the bracket, because there are 2 atoms of chlorine, and how we are getting 111 unified mass. But that is the formula unit mass. That is not the molecular mass. For representation, for speaking, for you can say बोलने के लिए, समझाने के लिए, समझने के लिए, इसको हम कहते हैं फॉर्मूला यूनिट मास. तो जिंक ऑक्साइड, जिंक is a metal, oxygen is a non-metal, and that is how the atomic mass value has been put, because they both are just one atom. Zinc and oxygen both are here just one number in atom, and we have added and 65 plus 60. So here I was telling you that whenever you will see any bulkier element, then your unified atomic mass will be provided. तो आपको जिंक की एटमिक मास मिलेगी जब भी इस तरह कंपाउंड आएंगे कैलकुलेट करने के लिए इसके फॉर्मूला यूनिट मास, तो ये प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा. Potassium oxide K2O, because the potassium is a metal and oxygen is a non-metal. So here also formula unit mass 39 is the atomic mass of potassium, 39 unified mass, and here the result is coming. Now I have taken one polyatomic ion compound here, magnesium carbonate. Magnesium, which has the atomic mass 24, and carbonate ion, it is a polyatomic radical, which is negative radical. तो कार्बोनेट आयन की हमने वैल्यू कैसे निकाली कि 12 कार्बन and 16 into 3 O3, and that is how we have calculated. Here I have taken salt which is present with its water of crystallization. This is your sodium sulfate decahydrate, that means 10H2O, and whenever we are keeping the water of crystallization, we put a dot. So that dot means the lattice energy, which is bonded, which is responsible to bond the water of crystallization to the salt remains surrounded by this water of crystallization. That is how पहले तो सोडियम सल्फेट का हमने निकाला 23 multiplied 2, 23 the atomic mass, and then सल्फेट आयन 32 plus 16 into 4. इस तरह से हमने मिडिल ब्रैकेट डाल के निकाला है ताकि आपको कहीं भी कोई कंफ्यूजन ना हो. और प्लस जहां भी डॉट आएगी वहां पे साइन देंगे प्लस की, और प्लस के बाद वाटर को हम लोग जनरली 18 यूनिफाइड मास से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, क्योंकि वाटर का बहुत सिंपल है कैलकुलेशन करना. फिर भी मैंने अलग से आपको यहाँ कैलकुलेट करके दिखा दिया है 10 प्लस, और इस तरह से इन द ब्रैकेट, एंड फाइंड इट इज कमिंग एज 322 unified mass. After this little lengthier calculation, you will reach to the answer. Here potassium permanganate will be permanganate ion is your polyatomic radical, negative radical, and is 54.9. So here also you can see that it is given in the fraction, the atomic mass of manganese, because here also the isotopic mass is applied. उसके बाद क्या है, अमोनियम सल्फेट. ये एक ऐसा कंपाउंड जिसमें कि दोनों ही रेडिकल्स ही हैं, अमोनियम आयन एंड सल्फेट आयन, एंड दैट इज हाउ वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड इट, कीपिंग बोथ ऑफ देम इन द मिडिल ब्रैकेट. सल्फेट आयन की यहाँ पे मैंने निकाली और अमोनियम आयन की ऐसे निकाली गई है. 4 एटम है हाइड्रोजन के और एक नाइट्रोजन का एटम, और फाइनली दोनों की अलग अलग निकाल कर हमने ऐड कर दिया है ताकि आपको कोई किसी तरह की डाउट ना रहे. And this is how we have calculated aluminium phosphate also, phosphate ion we have calculated, and we have added with the aluminium ion, and that is, these are the two ions whose separately if you say what is their mass is, then so 27 unified mass and 95 unified mass, and we have added it. And this is how cupric oxide, here also you can say this is your isotopic mass of which is present in the case of copper. 63.55 is the atomic mass of copper, and you know what is the atomic mass of oxygen, and that is how it is coming as 79.55 unified mass. And lastly, potassium nitrate, potassium ion and nitrate ion, which is a polyatomic negative radical, and that is how we have calculated it finally, and we are getting 101 unified mass. So this was a small topic, but the topic is very popular because the molecular mass is, the calculation of the molecular mass is very applied chemistry, you can say. It is an applied chemistry, and that's why the application of this I understand that knowledge will be high in your in understanding chemistry and in calculating the atomic molecular mass, children. So see this lecture carefully and listen it and apply it in your knowledge, that I will say, and then on the basis of this applied knowledge you calculate further molecular masses, formula masses of the different compound, and practice. Definitely you practice.